Testing, testing. Let me know if you guys can hear me loud and clear. Having some microphone issues. I apologize, guys. Sorry about that. We're trying to get them good and resolved. That way things aren't all hinky. So once I figure out that I can actually broadcast and people can hear me, we'll get this thing back rocking and rolling. Appreciate you guys for your patience, man. Sorry about that. I apologize, guys. Sorry about that. I can hear it on my end. Well, I can hear it on my end, so hopefully that means everybody else can hear it. Guys, I apologize. We were just talking Eagles secondary member Andrew Mukuba as we, had. So we'll just go through the whole spiel again. Welcome to Sports with Sunshine, the premier place to get your sports information on the Sports Lounge Media. We are powered by the Sports Lounge Media. Give another quick shout out to our sponsors, the Mogul brand and the Diamond Collection. Thank you guys for making Sports with Sunshine what it is and making what the Sports Lounge is what it is. I appreciate you guys for your patience. We had a little bit of technical malfunctions, but I do believe we are cooking. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me nice and clear. I have been messing with the microphone and hopefully I got it fixed. I could hear it on my end on YouTube, so I'm hoping you guys can hear it. But let's get back to the business at hand. I don't want to talk too in depth until I figure out if you guys can hear me or not. So somebody give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me, just so I can keep rocking and rolling. Down south, you can hear me, brother? You can hear me through the screen? I was just, my mic was just messing up. Oh, beautiful. Good Lord. I don't know why it has literally never done that, guys. My apologies. Let's get back to the business at hand. Thank you guys for your patience. I really appreciate it. Big shout out to the Sports Lounge, as I was saying, at Power Sports with Sunshine. And thank you to our sponsors, the Mogul brand and the Diamond Collection. All right, back to the business at hand. Guys, we're talking about Andrew Mukuba. Back to what we were talking about, because you probably didn't get to hear my entire opening spiel. So we're going to get back to work with that. Andrew Mukuba signs his contract with the Philadelphia Eagles, making him an Eagle. That will make the entire 2025 class officially Eagles, which is a big plus because there are still some teams that are battling guys not signing. You got Shamar Stewart out in Cincinnati. You got Nick Scorton. Two guys that have not signed contracts. And with Andrew Mukuba's signature, he is now officially a Philadelphia Eagle. And this is so important for me to Andrew Mukuba because, like I was saying earlier, it's not that I thought Howie wasn't going to get him signed. That isn't what I thought at all. I think that the reps he is going to receive in fall camp are invaluable to him trying to be a starter in this defense. Vic Fangio runs an extremely complicated back-end system, and Andrew Mukuba is going to need all the reps he can get. He's got Sidney Brown hot on the quarters. Guys, we have to stop acting like Sidney Brown is just going to lay over and give this job to Andrew Mukuba. Andrew Mukuba is extremely talented. So is Sidney Brown. I do think that Andrew Mukuba is talented enough that he can say day one reps, but he's going to have to go get after it. Sidney Brown is going to push him, and that's a good thing, Eagles fans. That's a very, very good thing because success is bred through competition, and that's what we're going to need to see if this Eagles secondary wants to take that step and still continue being as dominant as it was once a year ago. They're coming into the season ranked 8th by a lot of polls, and that's without Darius Slayer, CJ Gardner-Johnson, or Isaiah Rodgers, three very important pieces to the defense, I thought, a year ago. Now you have Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, Eli Ricks, Adoree Jackson, and, of course, that man, Kelee Ringo, and Andrew Mukuba and Sidney Brown. So I think that, it's invaluable for Andrew Mukuba to get these early reps. He's going to have to work all through camp if he wants to see the field early. And, guys, I want to hear from the fans. Let me know, who is your favorite Eagle that you are looking forward to in camp this year? For me, I've got my three that we're going to talk about tonight, but I'm interested to hear what you guys think. Drop it in the chat, hit the like button, tap that subscribe button, and as of course, go on over to the Sports Lounge and tap that subscribe button for me as well. Do believe he's 6. The Mobile Progress asks, how big is Andrew Mukuba? Same size CJ Gardner-Johnson. You're looking at 6'1", 180 pounds, I believe, which is a little undersized. Would I like to see him come up, to that 205, 210 range and still be able to move like he does? Absolutely. But that's going to come in time. Right now, I want him to get down the basics of what Vic Fangio's system is asking of him because of how complicated it is. And now you have guys like Reed Blankenship and Cooper DeJean that could kind of help you. And Cooper DeJean, by all intents and purposes, from what I've understood, has been extremely proficient in camp. In spring camp, he spent time at the boundary corner, the slot corner, safety. That leads me to believe that Vic Fangio really does trust Cooper DeJean, and he's starting to come along in this defense. I expect a very big year out of Coop. But back to Andrew Mukuba. Yeah, guys, it's very good that he signed his contract with the Philadelphia Eagles. He is now going to be with us for the next 3 seasons. He signed a $7 million contract with $1.8 million guaranteed. And that's kind of what he was looking for, right? Was the guaranteed money. Now we move on to my next cat that this guy right here. I firmly believe that this is going to be a day one guy. We are going to see him in the rotation just as much as we're going to see my man Moro Jomo. And that, my friends, is the vanilla gorilla, Ty Robinson. In college, this kid was an animal, guys. 134 tackles, 26.5 tackles for a loss, and 12 sacks. And that is 12 pass breakups. You read that correctly. PBUs. Emoni, go Birds, my brother. Appreciate you for popping in the chat. But when we look at Ty Robinson, very excited for what he brings to a defensive line that lost some guys, right? You lose Josh Sweat. You lose my man Milton. I think that, that leaves right now, as it sits, Jordan Davis, who is not an every down defensive lineman. He plays the run majority. You have Moro Jomo, Thomas Booker, and Byron Young. That's it in your interior. And, Gabe Hall, who's later on down. I think he's just kind of there for reps, but this leaves a lot of opportunity for Ty Robinson to insert himself into the starting lineup very early on. And from everything I've heard, he has been an animal in spring camp. I hope that he has just as good a fall camp. Sarai says Brown just needs to work on his technical stuff in the details. I can very much agree. I think that Sidney Brown brings the level of physicality that you want to see out of a safety. He's got to clean up his understanding of coverages. Vic Fangio runs a nickel system. We're in zone a lot, right? We don't run a lot of zero or, man free. So he's going to have to understand his responsibilities if he wants to get full playing time in the Eagles secondary. But back to the defensive line, I think Ty Robinson has a really good opportunity here. There's not a lot of bodies in the interior. I expect Ty Robinson to play that 3 technique, 5 technique, somewhere in that area. The problem is we have a lot of good edge rushers, guys. You're looking at, Azeez Ojulari, Jalix Hunt, Antoine Powell-Ryland, who's a pure pass rusher. You got Nakobe Dean and Jahad Campbell, who can play down on the line. Although I do think that Jahad Campbell is going to play more back for his rookie year so he can understand the system before he's thrust down. But there's all the opportunity in the world for Ty Robinson to grab a starting spot in this rotation. And guys, the man is humongous. Huge. At 280 pounds, he's running a 4.8. Guys, that's 20 miles an hour. He was the fastest defensive lineman at the combine. This kid is speed. He's a great penetrator. He gets to the quarterback specifically on plays where they're trying to screen out. He's really, really, really good at closing the edge. I'm very excited for Ty Robinson, man. I think that him paired with Jalen Carter is going to feed families. People are going to be very excited to see that dual matchup. And I think it'll make Jalen Carter even better because now you have to take some of the double teams off Jalen Carter and you got to have an answer for Ty Robinson. But of course, we haven't seen anything yet. So let's wait and let time tell if Ty Robinson can be the true animal that we're kind of hoping for. Guys, I appreciate everyone for coming on tonight. We're still talking, but I wanted to give a quick shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Like, subscribe, and follow the Sports Lounge Media. They power us. They make us what we are here at Sports with Sunshine. You can find us on any of the social apps. That's Instagram, X, TikTok, and YouTube. Would appreciate you guys for coming and joining the community. Next up, we're going to go back to the secondary, guys, because this is a name that some of my Eagles brothers and sisters kind of get a little funky with whenever we talk about it. That's Kelee Ringo. I think that when we look at Kelee Ringo, he's been with the Philadelphia Eagles the last 2 seasons. He hasn't seen an extensive amount of playing time, and that's kind of due to how talented the secondary has been with Darius Slay, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Quinyon Mitchell busted onto the scene. And I think that, now is the year where we get to see if Kelee Ringo can deliver on that Georgia Bulldog defense. Because we have a lot of them on here. You got Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, and Nakobe Dean, all from that Georgia team that was national champions. Can Kelee Ringo fit the bill? Right now, he's got Adoree Jackson hot on his tail. From everything I understand in camp, it's been a very close battle. You still have Eli Ricks, who I think is going to spend more time out behind Quinyon Mitchell. At least that's where he's listed in our depth chart. But don't forsake him as a name that can come in and earn some playing time. Kelee Ringo, in his time when he has been on the field, he has been absolutely incredible. But can he build on that? Can he be an every down guy? Because we know when Quinyon Mitchell goes out there and he's lined up against, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, who's now become a Rams receiver. We're going to be going against Justin Jefferson later down the road. All of these major receiver names, I'm not worried about Quinyon Mitchell being out there on the perimeter against those guys. Is he going to get beat every once in a while? Of course, it's how football works. But I'm not worried about him being consistently burnt. That's the level of comfort that I want to get to with Kelee Ringo. And guys, this defense is young. The entire secondary, we have the youngest defense in the NFL. They were the number one defense a year ago, and they're the youngest. So a lot of these guys, man, they have an opportunity to be on a great defense early on in their career. Kelee Ringo needs to seize that opportunity and really prove that he can be an every down starter for Vic Fangio. Because as we know, guys, Vic Fangio does not care how long you've been in the NFL, how good you think you are. If you're good, if you got the dog in you, you will play. It's that simple. We looked at Avonte Maddox, who struggled early on last season, specifically in Tampa Bay and in Atlanta. And a change was made at the bye week. You insert Cooper DeJean, who had missed some time in camp. And that goes back to me talking about Andrew Mukuba. Cooper had missed some time in camp a year ago, and that delayed his start until week 6 of the NFL season last year. You plug in Cooper DeJean, the rest is history. Gets a pick 6 in the Super Bowl on his freaking birthday. Absolutely incredible. Kelee Ringo can have a similar effect. He's got to step in and take the opportunity that's been put in front of him. I'm excited to see if he can truly be that other corner for us. Very excited for Kelee Ringo. The last segment of tonight's show that we're going to talk about is still in the NFC East. I don't know if you guys peeped it, but is there trouble in Dallas? Ladies and gentlemen, guys, I tried to grab a video of the press conference because the Dallas Cowboys started camp today. And they talked to Jerry Jones, and I'm sure my counterparts in the chat can speak on this, about the fact that Micah Parsons had not been signed yet. You still have Dak Prescott, who a year ago had signed a mega deal and didn't play a lot of games. And this man right here never ceases to amaze me as an Eagles fan. He goes on live and talks about the fact that, just because we're going to sign Micah Parsons doesn't mean we're going to have him. And then he went on, he takes a shot at his star defensive end. Then he takes a shot at his star quarterback by going on to say, well, you look at the player. He said the player we signed a few years ago, Dak Prescott. Like, come on, Jerry, you know his name. You wrote the check. Don't act like you don't know the man's name. And he went on to say, well, he only played half a season for us, blah, 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 blah. What did Dallas fans, and I know I have a few Dallas fans that watch the show, what did this accomplish for Dallas? All this is going to do, right, from an Eagles standpoint, right, from an other NFL fandom standpoint, is cause strife within the organization. You're gonna piss off your quarterback and edge that, by the way, still hasn't gotten signed. So all that's going to do is make him want to ask for more money later on down the road. And he's already a top 3 edge in this league and can ask for TJ Watt money. It kills me. Every day that I watch Jerry Jones operate as an owner in the NFL, it makes me just so happy that Howie Roseman commands the Eagles, because good God, it's never a dull moment in Dallas, and not in the exciting, great way. But at the end of the day, guys, I do think Dallas is going to be significantly improved regardless of what the geriatric patient is talking about. I do think that when Dak Prescott is at the helm of the Dallas Cowboys. They are competitive. I'm excited to see how competitive they can be within the division with the current rising of the Washington Commanders. But guys, I apologize for all the earlier strife. That is going to do it for tonight. I appreciate everybody for sticking around and fighting with me through. Yo, Jules, what is happening? Guys, if you want to say what's good in the chat, or if you have any questions, I will answer them now. Julius, welcome, my man. Appreciate you for coming on and showing love. But I want to say thank you, first of all, to the Sports Lounge Media for powering Sports with Sunshine and making us what we are. Thank you to our sponsors, the Mogul brand and the Diamond Collection, for sponsoring the Sports Lounge Media and giving it the ability to be what it is. Guys, the best sports media company on the app. We cover the NFL, the NHL, the MLB, college sports, you name it, the Sports Lounge Media covers it. And the NFL season's right around the corner, so there's no better place to get your information than Sports with Sunshine. All you got to do is go to www.sportsloungemedia.com, and you can watch great shows like Sports with Sunshine, Down South Philly. We even have SLM Bets that's now been kicking and running in case you want to get your bag this offseason and buy, your girl that nice present. We got a fantasy guru over at the Marshall Experience. Go check him out in case you want to dominate your fantasy league. Guys, we even have a red zone coming to the chat, okay? 4th and 1 with my man Down South. All NFL coverage that you can get, it's going to be right there at your fingertips. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button over on YouTube, as well as Sports with Sunshine. Guys, I really appreciate you. This offseason has been grueling, but we are literally a week away from the NFL season. Next week on Wednesday, the Chargers and the Lions meet in the Hall of Fame game, and we will officially have kicked off the 2025 NFL season. All teams will be in fall camp by this Wednesday. The Eagles start tomorrow. First practice is on Wednesday. Well, players report tomorrow. First practice is on Wednesday. But guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out this evening. I can't wait to see you on my Friday episode where we're going to talk a little bit about some other things that have been happening with the NFL, and I'm going to have somebody on to chat with. But as for now, it's always go Birds, and I will see you on the next episode of Sports with Sunshine.